Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, people of the internet. It is I, your coach, your friend, your failure on this path to success, partner in crime, guys. Like, here I am, man, ready to hang out with you. And I get to do something today, man, that I don't get to do every day. And I love it when I get to do it. I get to hang out with Coach Marcus Heflin. Good morning. Marcus, I can't hear you, buddy. I don't know what's going on with you, man. So, guys, while Marcus gets that out, here's the funny thing. This is a live show, and we show up every day. And sometimes life's just going to be life, and tech's going to be teching, and we're going to be just doing our thing. So, while he gets yeah, no. While he gets that going, man, I'm going to talk, and he's just going to be a great passenger and listen along. Ladies and gentlemen, when I've been coaching my one-on-one clients or coaching to rooms or talking to people, there is something that keeps popping up. I find, again, whether it's a big room or a small room, south, north, east, west, United States, this message keeps coming up. So I figured I might as well address it. Might as well talk about it a little bit today. One of the things that we've seen is what I call self-imposed obstacles. Self-imposed obstacles. Guys, we have so many things that we have to overcome on a daily basis, whether it is in our personal life, whether it's in our business, whether it's the market, interest rates, presidencies. I mean, you name it, right? There's so many things that are coming down the pipe that you have to dance with, that you have to adapt to, that you have to swing with. And one of the things that stops us more often than not, more often than all of those things I just listed, is what comes from our own mind, our self-imposed obstacles. You see, a lot of times, guys, we create small hurdles. And let me stop. I love you. I love you. And I got to say that right now because it's going to feel like I don't in a second here. So this is out of love. We create small hurdles in our mind and then we build on them, and we build on them with storytelling, with thoughts, and we make those small hurdles massive mountains. And we make them huge, and we make them so tall that we don't even know where to start. We make them so big that we think it's almost impossible to climb. Been there, got the t-shirt. Sometimes I still do it. So how do we get out of that? Guys, well, first off, we have to stop letting small things become big excuses. We got to do it. Like, have you ever let a tiny inconvenience derail your entire day? Just throw the whole thing off. Like, hey, the Wi-Fi's down. That's it. I'm packing it in. I'm going away. Like, my man Marcus has small children. He just did a move. Like, look, he's got one on his lap. Like,
Come on now.
do you think that small inconveniences happen, Marcus?
A little bit, man. When you wake up in the morning and your wife is running a crazy fever, and you have to tell your boss. First time I've ever asked for a sick day in about 14 years. So that was new. I was like, I don't know how to do this, and yet this is what I need. And yet, man, I did some math because I love this. I love this message. Sometimes we let 5 minutes of an inconvenience or bad news or something interrupt our entire day. I just took 5 divided by 1440, and that's how many minutes are in a day, guys. And we're looking at 0.003. All right. So AKA 0.3% of your entire day has sometimes thrown the entire day off. And I go back to prime time, man. Dion, he says, I never have a bad day. I may have a bad moment, but I never have a bad day. And I love that. And it speaks very well what you're saying, man.
Like, here's a question to ask, guys. Like, is this really stopping me or am I stopping myself?
Mm.
That's a big accountability pill to start thinking about. One of the things, like, I love you. It's like these limiting beliefs, these self-imposed just levels that we keep ourselves on. And let's talk about it as a business, right? Like, hey, oh, well, I think the main thing that's stopping me in my tracks is, I don't have enough listings. I'm like, cool, I get that. That's great. That's something that we can work on, right? That is a tangible thing. Like, what is stopping you from getting more listings? The market, seller's market, don't have enough leads. Like, you guys know it. You've heard all of the things. You probably say some of the things to yourself. What I would challenge you is this: in any market, buyer's market, seller's market, neutral market, balance market, the farmer's market, like all the markets, do you think that every single person in there is saying, I wish I had more leads? I wish I had more listings? Yes. Yes. It's not the market. It's
Yeah,
not.
it's not the market at all. It's our habits, right? So
That's
instead of
right.
saying, I wish the market was better, say, man, what skill set do I need to maximize this market? Where am I falling a little short? Because oh my gosh, I might not be the end all be all of this whole real estate thing yet. I may need to learn a few things. If I've never faced a shifting market, how can I hold myself to a standard of the same numbers that I had in a speed-based market with the exact same tactics? I think, Kyle, I've run into this, and people are really on themselves a whole lot because of 2024, and they got their license in 2020. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, guys, this is going to happen and it's okay. It's what you do in these moments that really help you maximize not only market share and yet the resiliency for this career. Kyle, I know you do this in the rooms too, man. We always say, hey, how many people have been in real estate for more than 10 years? And everybody stands up that can say that. And then you go to 15 and 20 and 25. And I've had countless rooms where they've been in the game for 30 plus years. And I make them stand up and I say, okay, everybody look at them awkwardly, right? And they're not twitching or anything, right? They're fascinated by this. And I say, how many down markets have you been through? And it's anywhere between 2 to 4 to whatever they remember, right? As far as what they classify as a down market. And they're still trucking along, man. And they say this profession is one of the best in the game. So if you find yourself in a negative way, like Kyle is mentioning, don't let 1 week, 1 month, even 1 year define your career. How you show up today, how you show up tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I mean, the reason I tell you this, guys, with such fervor is I think you like that, Marcus. That's for you, Cocoa Bean. New word for the day. Fervor. The reason I say this with so much fervor is because there's a coaching philosophy that Marcus and I both subscribe to, and it's that the client or the coachee is complete, that they have everything they already need, that they are enough, that they are strong enough, that they do have the internal fortitude to stand the storm and the test of time. And all we've got to do is just uncover it. We just got to chip away. Famous sculptors, one of the things that they say is, man, I could see the sculpture inside of the large block of stone, the large block of marble. All I'm doing is just uncovering it. That's why we're talking about this, guys. When I say small things are stopping us in our tracks, it's because we know the strength that you have, we know the ability that you have, and we got to stop doing that. So, Marcus, like, I know you do this, so you're going to love it. The second thing that I've got, right? So we've identified that we are making mountains out of molehills. If we're being honest, we're
Let's
doing that,
let's
ladies and
be
gentlemen.
honest this morning.
Let's be honest, right? The next step, guys, is we've got to rewrite the story.
Mhm.
We've got to reframe it. We've got to change it. You've heard this before. You'll hear it again because it's this foundational. Marcus, when we think about things like, let's just say listings, right? Let's just keep on the track. I need more listings. There's just not enough listings out there. That's my favorite. There's just not enough listings. Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's not.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, there's plenty out there to take, and yet it's the tactics that you're showing up with that aren't serving you. So it's one of these things. Jordan Freed, and I'll go back for a second and then come through. Jordan Freed said, "There's no person that's not coachable. It's if the coach is patient enough for that person." So, um, we always keep that hat on, and from time to time, it's time to fire it up a little bit. Okay, that's right, baby. Tell him, grab that mic. And when you think about your idea and your tactics to this market, if you're doing something and it's not reaping the results that you're looking for, how open-minded are you to different approaches? Or are you finding yourself, no judgment, are you finding yourself stuck in, I got to do it this way because this is the way I do it? I this is the one thing, and if I keep doing it, it's going to. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Where did that advice come from? Where did that mindset come from? Because Gary reminds us, you don't own a business if you're never willing to reinvent the business.
Mm,
And I can't tell how many times he's gone back to go 3 steps forward, right? And we had Mark King talking about financials here, and he said it's fascinating how many people shortchange that instant gratification or the things that they're just used to, and they miss out on the seemingly just unattainable in life just by the small choices on a daily basis.
yeah, man. Small choices on a daily basis, reinventing yourselves. Like one of the things that I challenge myself with personally, and this might sound a little morbid, guys, a little dark, but it works for me. So here you go. Is when I come up with these obstacles, big or small, I ask myself this: if my back was against the wall and I had to accomplish this obstacle, beat this obstacle, overcome this, or else someone that I love truly will perish or die. Could I be able to figure it out? Guys, the answer is almost always yes. And yet, knowing that, we think for some reason we have to let it get that bad before we put on our Superman cape and go slay the dragon.
You call it morbid. I don't call it morbid at all, buddy. I think it's understanding how the mind works and saying if this pain is keeping me from doing the thing, what other pain can I put out there that's so much worse or greater or heavy or whatever verbiage you want to use? What can I put out there as a motivator that, man, if this was a requirement to keep this little one healthy and happy and everything, what would keep me from doing it? There'd be nothing. And yet, for some reason, we step into the arena of work, right? Preach. Right. We step into the arena of work and we start coming up with all these excuses because maybe we forget why we even left the house. Maybe
Mm,
we forget what our household could look like in 5 years. And hey, some of y'all are out here listening. You're like, man, I don't have a spouse. I don't have a family. I don't have anything. Okay, cool. What you're doing right now is a foundation for what they get to enjoy. So if a spouse or a family is anywhere of importance to you or a goal for you, then everything you're showing up with now is just setting you up for success later.
yeah, man. And that's it, guys. It's like if your back was against the wall and you really brought in the severity of what your actions lead to and really focused on it, I think that mountain gets a little more manageable to climb. And often, and I know Marcus does this with his coaching, the questions are like, great, let's say listings again, right? We're staying with them. Great. Have you tried mailers? Have you tried door knocking? Have you tried circle prospecting? Have you tried doing like all these proven strategies? And it's like, no, that's not me. I don't really like that. No. And I'm like, so what I'm hearing, and remember, I love you. What I'm hearing is not that there's no listings, is that you're choosing not to do the things, the hard things to get the listings.
That's exactly right, man. Replace listings with lose that 10 pounds, with spend more time at home, with manage my calendar, with anything. Insert whatever else that you want in place of listings. And 10 times out of 10, that mentality is still showing up that similar way if we're not getting the results that we truly want.
Yeah, man. Guys, it's already inside of you. It's just what level are you holding yourself to? What challenge are you willing to take on? I got to watch this firsthand inside of the Constellation organization with Marcus. I think it was yesterday. We took a guy who's been with us for a few years, and Marcus challenged him to craft and build his own department. And he was like, limiting beliefs, limiting beliefs. And Marcus said, go do it. And this dude, Chris, showed up on our call about it, insanely prepared. I mean, just everything lined out, GPS 135, statistics, all these things, because Marcus held the challenge and wouldn't take a limiting belief for an answer. And get just like a wave of magic wand, within a week shows up, just nails it. Did some
It
crazy change happen, Marcus? Did he get a 4-year degree in a week in like business strategy, or did he figure it out because it was already inside?
One, it was already inside, and two, we got the opportunity to just be like, hey man, no excuses, just bring what you got. And it was an open arena. He didn't have to show up with perfection, and he didn't. I said, hey, you're gonna draft this, you're gonna own this completely. And when you show up with it, we are going to poke holes through it and perfect it. And part of that is he gets the opportunity to craft the business model himself and then watch it manifest into something better. His um, engagement with us was unbelievable in comparison to what I've seen. And what you're doing is authorship is ownership. So when somebody can author their job, their title, their whatever, man, they can really take it up a notch. Sorry, guys.
Hey, man, this is what we're about here, guys. Again, Marcus had a small molehill to conquer, and he was like, you know what? I'm bringing Coco Bean along. Let's go do this thing. But that's the thing, guys. It's like you have all this inside of you right now. Stop handcuffing yourself to your limiting beliefs. Stop handcuffing yourself to the problem. What are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do different? What are you going to do better? And just to tie a bow on this, to walk you guys out, two things almost every single time are the factor in these obstacles: skill or schedule. Skill or schedule. Guys, what I mean by that is there something that you're not doing skill based that you should be doing better, that you can take a class, that you can build some self-awareness on, look at some data, watch some tape, as Marcus says, and get better at that? Or are you not spending enough time on it? Schedule. Are you not doing enough reps? Are you not giving it enough focus? Are you not knocking enough doors? Are you not making enough calls? If you can figure out, is it skill or schedule or even both, and then apply those things, literally any obstacle you can overcome.
Couldn't have said it better myself, and I'm really glad you can say it because limited skill and schedule. Go back to David Goggins. He was never great at the tests, never great at the homework, anything. He had to double, triple, quadruple down on the same lessons, the same chapters, the same equations, whatever it is. And now look at where David Goggins is, whether you're a fan or not, right? Multimillionaire, exceptionally successful, mental fortitude of giants, right? Reps. It wasn't the most talented. You don't have to be. In fact, some of our millionaire real estate agents are not the most talented. They're not the best talkers. They're not the best, and yet they follow a schedule. They stick to a system and they plug and play. Pride and ego on those come ups, they're non-existent. They're like, I'm going to do what I have to do in order to succeed. I'm not going to worry about this, that, or that. I'm not going to worry about feelings. I'm not going to worry about if it's a bad day, right? I'm going to show up. I'm going to do it. So skill and schedule, man. Perfectly said and very simple to follow.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we say this out of love because we choose to hold you to everything that you are able to do. We want you to be surrounded with coaches and not cheerleaders, with people who believe the best in you, who see the best in you. Marcus and I, guys, we are professional mirror cleaners. That's it. Every single one of you are holding up a mirror every day. You are. It's how you see yourself. It's what you see in yourself. The problem with that mirror, more often than not, is it's dusty. It's got some grime on it. It's a little dirty from the failures of life, from past relationships, from things that were spoken over you. And all Marcus and I do is come in and be like, boo boo, you crazy thinking you look like that. Hold on, let me get some Windex on there, wipe it off. And we're like, that's you. That's you.
And it's absolutely empowering when somebody sees themselves. It's absolutely
Yes.
empowering when somebody steps into the power that we got to see that they never tapped into, and then life changing. That's how we change lives, is simply by letting people see their own power and then showing them the path. Hey, do you want to take that step? And when they do, the great thing is, if you're a great coach, the person feels like they did it themselves just by answering a few questions, and that is the best feeling in the world. Authorship, ownership, and then they can carry on with that different version of themselves moving forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, happy Wednesday. We're going to get you out of here. Coco Bean needs a snicky snack. Guys, stop making molehills mountains. Stop it and go clean off your mirror today. Go do what we see. Go do the things that you can absolutely knock out and have a great one. Marcus, Cocoa Bean, love you, mean it.